back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Francis Ngannou versus Brock Lesnar. Nuff said. Alright, thanks for checking out this video. Brock Lesnar's WWE contract is coming to an end reportedly, and he's wanting another shot in the UFC. Brock Lesnar, I don't know if you ain't been keeping up on the UFC. I don't know if you saw Alistair Overeem versus Francis Ngannou, but this is not the time to be talking about a UFC comeback, my boy. Brock Lesnar, I believe, is like 40, 41, 42, and there's 42 reasons I can give you right now why he'd get his ass whipped by Francis Ngannou, and that's facts. Now, it would be a fun fight. I would love to see the fight, and of course, I mean, it might not go that way. I'm just a little, all MMA fans, I'm a little fucking hyped about Francis Ngannou, especially being that he's getting this fucking heavyweight title shot 1 week, 2 weeks from now. Cannot wait. If he becomes the UFC champion and he were to fight Brock Lesnar, I would have to go with Francis Ngannou. This would be to go back into Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather. I would be team MMA. All you pro wrestling junkies can eat a dick for that day as far as I'm concerned. Love Brock Lesnar. Love the spectacle he brings to the sport. Don't love the steroids so much, not when he's fighting clean fighters. What up, Mark Hunt? But still, if he's coming back, and that's another thing, bro. Brock Lesnar, you don't want to do this. You better hope USADA's not around, because if you're coming back clean, you're going down. Francis Ngannou is in town. I'm telling you, this shit, my mind is blown. This would bring everybody to the sport, every casual fan, their mother, their grandma, their granddad, their nephew. Everybody wants to see Brock Lesnar versus Francis Ngannou. I don't care who you are, what your gender is, all of that shit, bro. The heavyweights, for one. A lot of people were talking about Brock Lesnar coming back to fight Jon Jones before Jon Jones got suspended by USADA, and that was like, yeah, man, that's a cool fight, but it was more of like a show, like a circus to me. I mean, Jon Jones is one of the best fighters of all time, the G-Dope, greatest dirty fighter of all time, but the thing is, he's a light heavyweight. He's never even fought at heavyweight. Brock Lesnar would just be huge compared to Jon Jones, so you would just have to hope that Brock Lesnar didn't lay on Jon Jones all fight. Hope that Jon Jones would be able to get up from big-ass Brock Lesnar and be able to show that he's the best fighter in the world, which is very, very real possibility. But with Brock Lesnar, even though he's a professional WWE wrestler, he still has a legit wrestling background, and he can still take Jon Jones down or any of these heavyweights down. Hell, I mean, I say there's 42 reasons Francis Ngannou can beat Brock Lesnar, but I can give you one reason Brock Lesnar can beat Francis Ngannou, and that's for sure. If he's able to, for some reason, get Francis Ngannou down round after round after round, you got to do it all 3 rounds, all 5 rounds if it's a championship fight. That shit ain't happening, boy. But what I'm saying is, that is Brock Lesnar's chance at winning this fight, using his wrestling and holding Francis down for his fucking life. That's the only way I see Brock winning this fight, but it's still a very real possibility, and I would still love this fight, as Brock Lesnar's probably one of the only dudes that really rival Francis Ngannou's size in the UFC. Now, we all know there's hurdles with that. I think Brock Lesnar might still be a part of the lawsuit with the UFC and Mark Hunt. I don't know anything. I don't know how. I mean, I know about it, but I don't know how long. I don't know anything about how long Brock Lesnar has left on his USADA suspension. If Brock Lesnar does come back, though, I would rather see Brock Lesnar versus Francis than Stipe, than Jon Jones, anybody. Really, there's nobody I would rather see Brock Lesnar fight right now than Francis Ngannou, and hopefully that's why Brock Lesnar's looking back. I need to see these two motherfuckers. You remember whenever Jon Jones or somebody said, Brock Lesnar, what did Jon Jones say after he won? Brock, be careful, or some shit, and fucking Brock Lesnar swiftly responded like, be careful what you wish for, young man. I need to see Francis Ngannou call out Brock Lesnar. Hopefully, but he's got to get past Stipe first. That's probably why Brock's not calling out Francis yet, or that's probably why Francis ain't mentioning Brock yet, because, I guarantee you these headlines are about to take over 2018. Francis Ngannou versus Brock Lesnar. Hey, it's got to happen. This is Brock Lesnar coming, but see, this is the only thing, and this is probably where a lot of people are going to just pick Francis Ngannou to win. But it's gonna go both ways, man. I think this would just be the perfect fight. You're gonna have some people that think Brock's not a real fighter and he's too old, and you're gonna have some people think that his wrestling hasn't been tested, and Brock still might be, you know, too big or something. So there's gonna be some people, especially in the WWE people, rooting for Brock Lesnar, but there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be picking the boy, the Predator, Francis Ngannou. But first, Francis Ngannou has to get through Stipe Miocic at UFC 220 in the main event. If he beats Stipe Miocic, he'll become the UFC's heavyweight champion, and then it will be a mega fight. The UFC's heavyweight champion, Francis Ngannou, versus Brock Lesnar, the white boy who is jacked. He said, what did he say? You're just mad that I'm a white boy and I'm jacked. He's gonna come back in jacked, and people are gonna wonder how he's doing it. It's because he's been in the motherfucking forest throwing trees over his back and shit. That's Brock Lesnar. That's how he does it. It ain't got no damn, you know, he's gonna come back clean. You know, USADA, that's another obstacle that kind of, as big as this fight is and as dope as this fight would be, you gotta wonder what's happening with USADA. I mean, but it's looking like, if you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast with Jeff Nowitzki, they're starting to like work around and try and work with some of the bigger names. As far as Nick Diaz got the whereabouts failure, and he's saying, you know, nobody thinks Nick Diaz is on steroids. It's got to do with his management. He told somebody to, you know, tell USADA where he's gonna be, and they didn't relay the message, and so it's just bad communication with Nick Diaz's whereabouts failures. But still, they have that whereabouts clause in there for a reason, to catch people who might be dodging USADA. Now, Nick Diaz is the only one to ever get hit with that whereabouts failures, and he's somebody that we don't think is just dodging USADA, so they're trying to maybe work that out. We see with the John Jones, who's also another potential fight for Brock Lesnar. I don't know, that's just weird. Both of those guys would have to get through USADA hurdles, and it's light heavyweight versus heavyweight. So I'd way rather see Francis. But with John Jones, we don't know when he's coming back from USADA. But Jeff Nowinski also talked about, you know, they're seeing what's going on with his. Maybe John Jones could get off early. Maybe John Jones can get off as late as we all thought. Who knows? All I know is Brock Lesnar versus Francis Ngannou 2018. Fucking, I can't wait. It is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.